right? Okay, this is much better. Hey y'all, it's Ryukin here, and well, so we have something that I want to take y'all a look at. But before we get into anything here, so welcome to the weekly dose of reviewing stuff, the new series that I've hosted since 2022 and originated since 2018. So don't be confused with the old one, because the old one didn't receive any updates since the video where I made a review about a Fuji film camera. So if you're interested in my old series or you want to check out my old videos that I made from there, so you can go check them out. Links are in the description, and both the new and the old playlists. So you wanna go check them out? Or maybe you were going to find me speaking Thai there, especially on the old playlist.
Okay, so I'm going to make this special announcement right here for my Discord server. So I do have a link to a Discord server in my bio, so you can come and join me in that. And don't worry, I'm really friendly in here, so you can talk to me whenever you want. And for Thai fans, you can also come join too. And if you want a person-to-person talk, you can also add me as a friend, and the name is listed in description, so you can go ahead and add me on Discord นะครับ
So, we have something that I want to take y'all a look at. But what is it though? Well, let me introduce to y'all to the world's forgotten remote control tripod from the 90s. This is a so-called Sony GP-TR remote control tripod. A remote control tripod that it was used in the high-A and the digital A handycams back in the early 90s and the 2000s. And the way this thing works right here is through the 2.5 jack called a LAN/C jack. So what really is a LAN/C right here? Well, I'm going to explain to y'all what it is, and I'm going to describe what really is a LAN/C in a nutshell. So, and according to the Sony website right here that I found from Google, I think. So a LAN/C right here stands for a local application control bus system, and the way this thing works right here is only through a 2.5 jack that it has a label LAN/C, or it also can be labeled as a remote or AV out or whatever the nonsense stuff on the Sony Handycam camcorder back in the day. And the way this thing works right here, it was used to control the tape transportation, which is actually what it is back then. So, and it's also used to control the most of the Sony Handycams back in the day before they were being replaced by the 10-pin connector in the later models, especially the ones from the late 2000s, like the one that I'm using right now right here, my 13-year-old Sony Handycam. So, and I'm going to say about something, the fun fact right here. The 10-pin connector right here, they were firstly used in the late models from the 2000s and then the early 2010s, like the one that I'm using right now, my Sony Handycam HDR-PJ30E, which is the one of those camcorders that it uses a 10-pin connector to connect up to a bunch of stuff, like the TV. They have like a proprietary RCA cable that it has a 10-pin connector on it, and they even have a tripod like the one that I'm using right now right here, which is a Sony tripod that it features a remote control tripod. And same goes for this thing, but except it uses a LAN/C jack. But although for the adapter that I was looking for this thing, well, of course it's really rare to find one nowadays. But despite the 2.5 jack itself right here, it is used to exist instead of the tape handycams back in the day before they were being replaced by, just like what I said, the one with the 10-pin connector, ceasing the existence of those LAN/C 2.5 jacks on the latest models or the later models. So, and again, the 10-pin connector, they were being replaced by the multi-connector like the one on the HDR CX405, which they were being replaced the bunch of vintage stuff that it was used to exist on those handycams like the one I'm using right now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all a difference right here between the Sony GP-TR and this so-called Sony VCT 50AV. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So as you can see right there, that's the model number for this tripod. This one right here, I have made a research that this thing right here, it has a bigger version of it, which is a VCT60AV. Instead of just this size right here that I got, that one is a lot bigger. So, but this one here that I got is a smaller one that came with a camcorder. So as you can see here, here's the difference right here. So on the GP-TR, you can see that it gives you a lot of super controls. So you got a zoom and a switch right here to turn on the recording button. Or if you want to lock it, you can actually just lock it in place when you're not used. So, but the buttons can be accessed though, even if you're in a locked position. But well, of course, you can actually just do it like a flip phone, like what you see here, and then you just put it in standby mode. And you're ready to go for recording start-stop on your GP-TR remote control tripod right here. So this is a smaller one, but this one here, it looks like a big one, and compared that to this one right here, so you can see that it's a lot bigger. So, and on my tripod right here that I have for my Sony camcorder right here, it gives you a lot of controls right here to do. So such as the recording button, the power off button, instead of just a locking position, and you got the guide frame button right here to turn on the guide frame on your camcorder if you want to use the guide frame. So you also got this switch right here to turn on slow zoom for cinematic slow zoom. But the most of the time I just going to turn off because, you know, I just want a fast variable speed zoom there, as well as a full button, which is actually the one that this remote control tripod right here doesn't have. So you see here. And this one right here, the good thing is this one is actually a two-step shutter button. So this one's focus and then take a photo. So that's really nice to have that on such a remote control tripod like this. And as you can see here, this is a 10-pin connector that I was talking about here. So as you can see here, here's what it looks like. And on my camcorder right here, there's a socket connector right there for A/VR, which this one right here also serves as for composite video and a component video, as well as this remote control here too. So as you can see here, this is a 10-pin connector right there. And there's a status LED right there to tell you if the remote control is actually ready to use or the camcorder is just turned on. But even if you are in the position of recording mode, it's actually going to turn this light into red, because the red light indicator, that means it's recording on a video. So, and that's really it for explanation right here. And this one also has an LED. Where is it? There it is. This one also has an LED like the one on the tripod right here, but except this one right here, it serves a different purpose. Yep, that's really it for the comparison right here between this one right here that I have. So, alright. So I have explained of what really is the Lancy and comparing that to what I have here. Well, so right now we're already talking nonsense stuff about the Lancy and whatever the bull is. So I'm going to take y'all a look at the functions of this remote control right here, of what is going to offer you back in the 90s. So, and alright, so first of all right here on the front you can see the zoom rocker right here, which did have a really good feeling to it. So I'm gonna say right here, to my prefer right here, I really like the feeling of the rocker zoom button, which the way that it works is just to use your middle finger and your other finger right here, or the index finger, to control the zoom in or zoom out functions. Your middle finger right here is going to lay down on the zoom, and then your index finger is going to lay down on the wide zoom, or I mean the zoom out button, I think. So I really like that feeling, and the sounds are really satisfying. So they do sound like this. And on the side right here, here's your hand strap right here for the grip. So as you can see here, the hand strap right here, it looks similar to the one on those Sony Handycams back at that time. But even though this thing right here can be adjustable, and this part right here, it can also be removable. So how great this thing is back in the day. But well, of course, this hand strap right here is actually to purpose is to have your hand on your grip all the time, just like on your camcorder back in the day. And this thing right here can be also adjustment. So this thing right here, it can be also be adjusted according to your size of your hand, like my hand actually. So as you can see here, my hands are so skinny. So this thing right here, it can be actually, you know, can have your hands staying like this. This thing right here, it kind of reminds me of those big camera rigs that they have this right here on the side, which especially is on the right side. The way that this thing works is just to let your hand stay in the grip all the time without having to, like, you know, accidentally fall off, like if you don't have a grip or something. And well, of course, they do have a left hand option right here, which that's why they give you this hook strap right here for your left hand. So if you are left-handed, this thing right here, it should be for you, because they do have this one right here, alternative option for your left-handed if you are the one who use left hand. But for me, well, I actually can't use left hand though, but only for WASD. So to shift, spacebar, you know, that Minecraft stuff. And well, so I think this is going to be all of the series right now, talking about Minecraft and hand strap. So let's get to take a look at the back right here. So on the back right here, we also got this right here of what is suspiciously a tripod. So the way that this thing works right here, it has this switch right here that it reveals or it unfolds the hidden form of this remote control tripod right here. So the way that this thing works is to push down this secret button right here, reveal the hidden form of this tripod thing right here, or the remote control thing right here, or what I'm going to call it is right now. And well, so when I press this button right here, it reveals the hidden tripod. That's in unfolds. And you can place it either on the ground or on the table like this. And aside from having a hidden tripod feature, it also gives you this right here, what is called a locking mechanism. So the way that works is just to adjust your camcorder right here, or what you have to position to. So, and you have this locking mechanism right here. This thing right here, it can be useful if you are placing this on the ground or on the table, so it really depends on the situations though. So, and well, so aside from having a hidden tripod feature, but it also gives you this classic controls right here for the recording button. So the way that it works is have a lock position right here, which back then this right here basically just locks the recording button, and then if you want to use it, you would just going to turn on like this and you're good to go. But this thing right here, it looks really loose, so that's why I can actually do this while turning on the thing. And well, so of course you have this classic recording button right there that you would expect from an early Sony Handycams back at that time. So which is a really great thing to have that on such a vintage thing. And on the top right here, you also got the tripod mount, which is only made for a camcorder. So it is incompatible with the DSLR or format, or either a compact camera or a G7X Mark II. So it is only used for a camcorder only. So if you want to use with other cameras or your smartphone, you have to buy an adapter to do it for you. Or maybe if you want to hack something out of it, like the one that I have for my camcorder rig. But of course, it does work though, but not for the good. So it only can be used as a pistol grip for the rig itself. So, and also there is no way that I can actually adjust this thing right here to make it to the front. So, but or else if this thing right here, it does have a second tripod mount, I'm going to place it on the front to mimic the look of a gun, some kind of actually. And this, it also gives you the light indicator right here. So what it actually does right here is just like the one on my Sony Handycam tripod that I have, which is basically an indicator light that it tells you if the camera is turned on or is it recording. So it really depends on the situations. And well, so what about the locking mechanism right here that I just talked about in the area? So the locking mechanism right here, the way that it works is just to adjust it like that. It's about the same as the way that the sheet tripod works. So you have a lock mechanism right here, and you can adjust here according to your needs. And if you don't want to use it, you would just going to lock it in position like that. So, or if you want a nice position for your camcorder or for your camera, can actually lock onto your direction that your camcorder prefer. So this thing right here is really versatile. So, but this part is like, you know, it's just bring a remote control that it has a tripod as a handed form. So, but of course, you can't even do portraits on this tripod either because of this right here, a fixed tab. And alright, so I think this is going to be basically it for such a talk about this Sony Handycam tripod remote control grip right here. And well, of course, what are my conclusions right here? So, and well, to my conclusion, this thing, it was used to be a remote control for high-end and digital A handycams, and of course is incompatible with the 10-pin connector camcorders or the later models after the mid-2000s or the late 2000s, and after that the 10-pin connector, they will being replaced by the one that are so-called a multi-connector, which there still exists in some of the newest Sony cameras like the Alpha, the mirrorless ones, or even the professional ones like the ZEV10 or the ZV1, which they do offer you a different connectors for it. They will be having like a multi-connector on there anyways. So, but of course, they actually removed the existence of the 10-pin connectors, like the ones on my camcorder here. But well, of course, but this supply is having an outdated connector, and we had to buy an adapter for it, but even though it's really rare to find now. But well, this thing right here only can be used as a hand grip for your camcorder, but the controls are unusable. And if you want to use a control, you have to buy an adapter for that. So, well, so this thing right here, my friend, this is the most cool thing that I ever seen from the 90s. And of course, it's really rare to find one nowadays, and of course I think I will probably be the first guy that I've reviewed this thing right here on YouTube. But well, I don't think about it that much, but maybe there will be somebody like have reviewed this thing already, but well, I don't know actually. But for my research right here on YouTube, I couldn't find once that it has this thing right here being reviewed. But of course, I just want to review things that it is actually right in front of me at a time. So just like this one. And well, I see this is going to be off the sea too much, and right now let's close the video. Alright, so I think this is going to be basically it for Sony GP-TR remote control tripod from the 90s. And well, of course, even though this thing right here, they will have forgotten it, but the legendary look is still lives on. And of course, this thing right here is only compatible with the high-end and digital A handycams from the 90s and until like the early 2000s before they discontinue a Lancy jack and they were being replaced by the 10-pin connector. And 10-pin connector is short-lived. They were being replaced by the multi ones, which is the current proprietary Sony connector that it used to exist until now. Or maybe if they actually change anything in the future. So, but I can't really tell about the future though. So, alright, so that's really it for the review of the Sony GP-TR remote control tripod, and it just doesn't want to work again. Alright, there we go. So, and if you like this nonsense stuff like this right here or awesome content like this, so please leave me a like, comment แล้วก็ที่สำคัญมากเลยนั่นก็คือการกดปุ่ม subscribe สีแดงนั้นให้ผมด้วยแล้วก็มันจะเป็นกำลังใจในการทำคลิปในอนาคตแล้วก็ต่อไปด้วยนะครับแล้วก็ขอบคุณท่านผู้ชมด้วยครับที่มาติดตามรับฟังผมมากนะครับแล้วก็สำหรับเอพิโซดนี้นะครับผมบอกไว้เลยไม่รู้จะอธิบายยังไงแล้ววะ Alright, so anyways, bye bye สวัสดีครับ Woo!